Let's start with an overview. It's been a little while since we talked, and maybe our listeners may listen or have remember you, but you are a nonprofit organization. You're helping folks that were incarcerated. You're helping them on the flip side and reducing the recidivism rate. Is that correct?
That's exactly right. We've helped over 1,000 people in the last 7 years, and only 5 have gone back to prison.
Wow, that's really awesome notes and statistics. I mean, what a great thing you're doing there, my friend. And you were introduced by a mutual friend, Captain Will Smith, who had a similar story.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, he and I are working together. We're trying to bring currently, Cons Humping Cons Free to Serve is operating down in Pinellas and Hillsborough counties. We're trying to bring it, he and I are trying to bring it up here into Pasco County.
Nice.
We need to have a program up here because there's just nothing up here in Pasco County. We're encountering a little kickback from the sheriff's office, but we're trying to work with them, and it's a process.
It's right. That's right. It's a process, and you always, have those roads to, kind of keep pushing, keep knocking on those doors, and being persistent. So describe a little bit. We talked about some of the success stories that you had last as well, and our heart really goes out to these folks. A lot of times, you're wrongfully convicted. You go to jail. You served your time. You won an appeal. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you just served the whole sentence out. You may be accepted in a plea deal, and you look at these different scenarios. But what are some of the top stories that you think of? Some of the top men and women that have come out and just really embrace the opportunity to be a citizen again.
One of the first things I tell these people when they come out is you've got to get rid of your anger. That's all behind you now. You've been done wrong. Let's move forward. Second thing I tell them is if you want to get ahead in our community, because you're a felon, you're really going to have to start your own business. So of these 1,000 people that we've helped in the last 7 years, there's probably been 850 new businesses started.
Wow. Now that's surprising. That's really cool. Let's unpack that a little bit more. So they're starting up lawn services or pressure washing companies. What do you see getting traction fastest?
Welding, a lot of house rehabbing, anything that they can do on their own and perhaps have a small crew.
Yes. Well, I tell you what, handyman, in the real estate business, we're always looking for a handyman to, the inspection comes back. You've heard the story 1,000 times, right? The home goes under contract. The inspection comes back. There's a laundry list of, not major. Sometimes it's major, sometimes it's minor, but these things that need to be done, handyman type activities. So I feel like there's a strong need for that.
Right. And the only thing is we have to make sure that because we're being watched, we have to do everything on make sure everything's very legal. So right. Everybody who becomes a handyman becomes licensed. Everybody who becomes a welder becomes licensed, becomes certified. So we do everything on the up and up.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only way to do it these days. There's always haters out there looking over your shoulder, trying to come at you. So you got to be careful. You got to do everything by the books. Pull the permit. If the code says pull the permit and you're changing out a water heater, for example, some people say, well, it's a water heater. I should be able to change out my own water heater. Well, if code says you need to pull the permit, you've got to pull the permit. Right, Thomas?
Exactly. And plus, you're talking about people looking over our shoulder and people not really out there to help us. I don't know if you're aware, but just today, the Florida legislature is talking about not allowing that $15 minimum wage to apply to anyone under age 21 or any felon.
Oh, wow. So that's
every time you turn around, man, it's just, just like that movie said, the hits just keep on coming.
So they're gonna discriminate against a felon, but everybody else can get the $15 hike.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Just another reason why you got to start your own business.
That's right. Nothing is better, and we talked about it earlier with the gentleman that were on our show. Having the American dream, being able to start your own business and kind of grow it. And what's cool is that, it starts off and then, you look back, and I think it reminds me of, one of the biggest quotes, one of the favorite quotes from Tony Robbins is something like, I'll paraphrase, but people, a lot of time, every time you roll out the new year, right, everybody has these very ambitious New Year's resolutions. Once a year, we get very, ambitious, yep. And we have all these big New Year's resolutions. This year, we're going to do all these things, and they overwhelm themselves, but they fail to plan. And then the goal or the quote is something like, people underestimate what they can do in 5 years, and they significantly overestimate what they can do in 1 year. So it's something to do with the way our brain is wired that we tend to fall into that trap, Thomas.
Well, and that's what I do when I help them make the ex-cons. I help them make their goals. I tell them make them achievable,
Yeah.
but don't make them so low they haven't actually shot for the stars.
Right. Yeah.
And actually, talking about this whole thing about business, I think that starting with the boomer generation, I think we were done a disservice by being pushed in our schooling to go to college.
Sure.
As a matter of fact, look now, there are hardly any plumbers. There's a huge shortage of electricians.
Yes.
Nobody went into the trades. And actually, that's where the money is.
That's a great point. Yeah, too many times you heard, that rhetoric, and not all the kids are going to be, going to college, not the college type. They're going to go and try to make their parents happy. But
Right.
yeah, a lot of there's a lot of need. There's a high demand. Look at the nursing, trade. Look at the nursing trade. Look at the welding, as you mentioned, plumbers, electricians, even roofing. We just had Suncoast Roofing on the show, and there's placements there. There's jobs you can instantly jump into and pay back that trade school debt. And by the way, that debt for that trade school is going to be much less than your 4-year college degree, and the skyrocketing cost of universities as well. And then also the Chinese Communist Party has infiltrated a lot of these schools, especially the ones that are more liberal arts, the California Berkeleys, the different schools. So you've got these folks coming in and just really influencing a lot of our youth in the wrong direction, not based on the values of our country and our forefathers, but they're actually painting our forefathers as bad people.
Yes. Well, I'm pushing some of the guys that are further out from getting out yet, and they're still inside. I'm telling them, while you're in there, go ahead and get your certifications in welding, electrician, plumbing. Some of the prisons offer that. Not too many, but some do, and if they're blessed to be in one of those prisons,
Wow.
I tell them, pick that up. So when you get out, you can hit the road running.
Yeah, I mean, that's super cool. I didn't realize that was all available as well. So you can be incarcerated, locked up behind bars. I know you could read books and you had access, but you're telling me there's actually programs where they can start getting these certifications and the licensing done while they're still incarcerated?
That is one of the nice things about the new Florida Department of Corrections Secretary, Mark Inch.
Yeah.
He is very progressively minded.
Wow.
And he has started some of these programs with, you've got some wardens who are progressive too. And they'll say, hey, yeah, let's bring that in. But then again, too, you've got some other wardens who say, no, let's keep them locked down so that there's a little trouble. So
Yeah.
it all depends upon how blessed you are and what camp you're in.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And if you just joined us, we're talking with Thomas YOUNK, Cons Helping Cons and Free to Serve. And Thomas, what's the website and information if people want to support you and your organization? And again, he's helping folks that have been convicted of crimes, and some have been wrongfully convicted, but many have not. Over 1,000 folks that's gone through his program, only five out of 1,000 have gone back, and he's significantly reducing the recidivism rate is the term that's used. Thomas, how can folks help? Reach out if they want to get involved and help you.
And best thing to do is just go to our website on Facebook, our Facebook page.
Yes.
Just because we find that easiest, and we keep that up to date with what's going on, and you can see what we're doing. There's ways there to contact us if you have questions. We're always looking for people to offer us opportunities too for businesses.
So
we really don't need any mentors.
That's facebook.com/cons helping cons.
Yes.
Okay, CONS helping cons helping cons. Thomas YOUNK, find him on Facebook. And that's so talk about that side of it then. You mentioned sometimes businesses are helping out as well.
Well, actually, right now we have one of the construction companies in town. They will take anybody that we have.
Wow.
I'll tell you a quick story how that happened. When I first contacted them years ago, said, hey, I've got all these capable guys. Can you hire them? I said, we don't want to hire ex-cons. I said, I'm telling you, if you hire these guys, they're going to be your hardest worker. They're going to come to work every day because a lot of them are on probation. If they don't go to work, they go back to prison. And you will find them to be hard workers. They're just happy to be there.
Yeah.
So they took a chance. They hired a couple.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you, over the last 6 years now, 5 years I've been dealing with them, we've probably got 120 people working there.
Wow.
And every time there's an opening, they call and say, hey, you got anybody else you can send our way?
Wow. That's pretty cool, man. That's awesome. That's a nice success story. So people, yeah, they're looking to get into the workforce. They just want to, pay their bills. They want to get back into society and right their wrongs and just live a life where they can go out and enjoy the fruits of their labor. And so that's awesome, man. I love that. We got about half a minute here, Thomas. Parting words of wisdom, final thought.
Hey, if somebody's done something to you wrong, let it go. Karma will take care of it. God will look out for you. Move on, move forward, be happy. Just do your best. There's a reason why the windshield's bigger than the rearview mirror. Keep looking forward.
Yes, right on. I love that. All right, good stuff. Hey, Thomas, thanks so much, my friend. Keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing a great thing for society out there. Good job, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Catch up with you later.
Appreciate it. Take care. All right, that was Thomas YOUNK, Cons Helping Cons. Find him on Facebook. Support the cause if you can. We greatly appreciate you tuning into our show and supporting our local area companies and expert contributors. Find us on Facebook as well, Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Realty, Consumer Quarterback Show. And we'll see you next time. Please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Make sure you check out consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, with